A big shout out to Frank Costello and all at the Galway Celtic Supporters Club for supporting the fanzine once again this season and the podcast. If you're a member of a Celtic Supporters Club and you want more information on signing up your club to the fanzine, please give us a shout. You can contact us at celticfanzine.com or across social media. All Supporters Club members get a free digital copy of each issue, and we also stick a print copy in the post, and we'll stick in a free t-shirt which can be used as a raffle prize or to fit one of your members. Thanks for the continued support, folks. Enjoy the podcast. The cry was ole, ole, ole. The hero, Troy Parrot. 5 goals, 2 games. What a man. Maybe he wouldn't have played if Evan Ferguson was fit for Ireland, but he did. And he scored 2 against Portugal in that famous 2-0 win at the Aviva Stadium, which we have waited so long for. You have to go back to when Martin O'Neill was manager and we beat the world champions, the World Cup holders, Germany, 1-0 when Shane Long scored that goal. What a night that was, and what a night Thursday was. The atmosphere was incredible. And then Budapest, incredible atmosphere again. Home fans turned up expecting to see their team get at least a draw to qualify for the playoffs. Portugal, 9-1 winners over Armenia, meant that a win wouldn't top the group for Hungary. So the playoff was a more realistic thing. But no. Troy Parrot, hat-trick hero. Incredible. Ireland came from behind twice to win that game. Liam Scales played his part. Celtic's Liam Scales, criticised by some, still does the business week in, week out for Celtic. He steps up. Portugal gets on the end of a header from a corner. Parra gets it in. Last minute, 95th minute, he rises high in the air, connects with a header, taps it onto Parra. Parra taps it in the back of the net. Incredible scenes. Ireland are going to the playoffs. Absolutely incredible. Folks, if you're tuning in to the Celtic Soul podcast on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to find out what we're all about, visit celticfanzine.com, where you'll find everything we do across all media in print, digital, audio, and on video. If you're listening on to the podcast on audio, please go to Spotify or Apple or wherever you're listening and give us a review. Keep the comments coming in. Share, like, whatever, to keep us growing. The more than 90-minute Celtic fanzine, Celtic Soul brand, as we enter almost our 25th year of independent Celtic fan media. I would imagine that some people have hangovers today. I would imagine some people have phoned in sick or done a shift swap. I didn't have a drink myself. I spent the evening walking Henrik, my dog, and I'm fresh today and grateful for it. Troy Parrot, the toast of Ireland. As I said, 5 goals, 2 games as Ireland beat Portugal 2-0 on Thursday night and then travelled to Hungary with the hope of a nation on those players' shoulders. Twice, not once, twice they were down. And they showed the spirit of the fighting Irish to come back. All eyes now on Thursday for the draw. Noon draw, we will find out where we're going, who we're playing, how much it's going to cost, what hotel we're staying in, and what flight. Because at the moment, it looks like we're going to be away. If we move into pot two, we sit in pot three at the moment. If we move into pot two, I believe we will have a home game. It just depends on how results go. A home game in the Aviva would be unbelievable. The atmosphere would be incredible. The demand for tickets would be incredible. And of course, we'll have a bus up and down. But at the moment, I think, and don't quote me on that, because with these draws and same with the Champions League and the Europa League, it can get confusion with the coefficiency. And now we have teams coming in the back door from the Nations League and so forth. So let's just wait and see. I have to have a massive shout out to the Celtic boys. Liam Scales, he played a starring role in both nights. As I said, 2 assists and was, done his bit. Was outstanding in a superb organised defence on Thursday night. I thought they started a bit nervy yesterday on Sunday, and I think Liam, he was playing full back, which isn't his natural position, and I thought Manning was going to replace him at half time, but Helmo, the manager, he went, no, leave him on, and he put Manning on, and as the game progressed, Ida come on at half time, and as the game progressed, he just started putting on, attacking players, chasing the game, which was brave, but you might as well have left with, a hammering as not to have Troy, you sitting back, you ain't going to beat the Hungarians. They played for time, they feigned injury, they brought on the substitutions, as any team would do if so much was riding. But they got nervy when we got back to 2-2, and then the winner. Oh my God. Like a signify if you're Hungarian, but God, if you're a Paddy, if you're Irish, your eyes were smiling. Liam Scales, take a bow. But Johnny Kenny, I saw Liam on the flight I think it was Liam. I saw Liam on the flight from Edinburgh on Sunday evening last as we came home. There was a bad accident on the road, and we just made the flight, so I'm sure he was stuck in the traffic as well. The FEI officials are always there the driver is always there to meet the players coming in for international duty. But I noticed Johnny Kenny was in the airport. He had me named in the original squad, so with my Inspector Clouseau hat on, I approached him and soon found out that himself and one of the Hibs boys had been added to the squad late. So he trained all week. He soaked up the atmosphere. He was warming down in front of us on Thursday. He soaked up the atmosphere. And Jamie McGrath, he was the Hibs player. He soaked up the atmosphere. He didn't get a chance to come on. Ireland were just, they were just so well organised, and they really had to be because, Portugal are, a team full of stars, and also had the Ronaldo sending off, which was interesting to say the least. He got a good reception going off after his crybaby stuff. So, Ronaldo, superstar of football, but on the night, it was Troy Parrot who grabbed all the headlines. And fair play to him. But back to Johnny Kenny. So he joins the squad. He's on the bench. He's now in the senior setup. A couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, it looked like he was probably on his way out of Celtic, maybe on loan. He'd had a very successful stint with Shamrock Rovers, but because of injury and the sale of Adamida and Kyogo, he now finds himself the number one striker at Celtic. He comes in under Martin O'Neill. He gets his chance. He scores 4 goals in 3 domestic games. Okay, he had a bad night against Midland, but who didn't? We are way off the mark in Europe. But domestically, Oh, he played such a big part and scored against Rangers in the semi-finals of the Cup, which was incredible. Falkirk before that midweek, he bangs in two. And then against Kilmarnock, he scores as well. So I hope I got that right. Um, yeah, I think so. I think, yeah, 4 goals in 3 games. So we tip a hat to Johnny Kenny. And then he comes off the bench, almost scores for Ireland against Hungary. A fantastic save by the Hungarian goalkeeper to deny him. You know, and he's in that dressing room. You've saw the celebrations, I'm sure you have. They've been showing celebrations from Dublin Airport, for God's sake. Uh, so it's been really good. But Johnny and Liam, they'll probably have a day off now, maybe spend some time with their family, but they'll be back on the training ground soon with Celtic. And all eyes now turn towards St Mirren, Paisley, Saturday night, 8 p.m. kickoff, a strange time. Tickets are scarce. The game is live on Sky Sports. You can also watch it on Celtic TV. And it's one we need to win 3 points. We have to stay close to Hearts before we play them in a couple of weeks. It would give us a boost. 3 points would give us a boost ahead of our cup final against St Mirren. They've done really well to get to the cup final. They had a fantastic semi-final win over Motherwell. So they will have confidence. The last time we were there was an even kickoff as well. The last time I was there was an even kickoff, and we won that game. So hopefully we can do the same on Saturday night before we head off on another European adventure. Rotterdam. I don't think it will reach the highs of Budapest, but we're looking forward to the trip. We're taking in a couple of days in the sunshine before it, myself and a few of the lads. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. A win against St Mirren would set us up nicely, and hopefully we can get a result in Rotterdam. But we'll have more about both games later in the week. The usual suspects will be back on the podcast later in the week to preview the St Mirren game, and then following on from that, then we'll probably be doing a one on the Feyenoord game on our travels. So I don't know what the sound quality is going to be like on that, because we will not have the luxury of this fantastic studio to record and edit. But look, we'll do our best. And just finally, big shout out to Lima and Johnny, and best of luck for the weekend now. Back wearing the hoops. So what else have we been up to? What else have we been up to? Is right. We have. Hold on, I just see. Yeah. The AGM takes place on Friday. It's going to be colourful. It's one that there's been a lot of controversy around because of the Celtic Trust voting stuff. The Celtic Fans Collective have been calling this week for major change within the non-executive directors. We've all known that they want change at the top, but they are saying that the non-executive directors have been there for 20 years, some of them, or longer, and that the time is up. It's time for new ideas. It's time for non-executives to start holding the executive directors to account, and not to be just a backslapping exercise and picking up a paycheck. So it will be interesting to see if Dermot Desmond makes changes from within the board, because we all know he calls the shots and he pulls all the strings. There was a lady from Leicester, I believe, who's been hanging around the boardroom, and she's been seen at games. I sit in the main stand, and there has been a few new faces within the director's box seated area on match days. So let's see what comes out of that. And today, I've read that Martin O'Neill is also being considered for a position on the board. This is news, fresh news to me. But at the moment, he has to concentrate as Celtic manager. We are still waiting for a permanent replacement to Brendan Rodgers. We have been linked with numerous managers, including a return of Ange Postecoglou, Kieran McKenna, Craig Bellamy, Robbie Keane, which I don't think will be too popular with section of the fans. And also the biggest news, or the most talked about, was Wilfred Nancy, who is coaching in the MLS with Columbus Crew. He's done a double. I don't know a lot about the Frenchman. I did listen to a podcast there with the boys from the Celtic. Hold on, I can't. My mind goes blank. I listen to that many podcasts. There it is. The Celtic Exchange. Sorry, boys. Celtic Exchange. They have done one on him with a guest who says that he's a very hands-on coach, very good coach. He's done a double. Started off Toronto. So if you get a chance to listen to the boys over on the Celtic Exchange, that'll give you a kind of an introduction into who he is. And they've also done one about the highly rated Norwegian coach, Cato Knutsen, I hope I've pronounced that right, of Bodo Glimt. We know about Bodo Glimt ourselves. They knocked us out of the Europa League when Andrew was manager. And they've won a couple of Norwegian titles. They've got the furthest a Norwegian team has ever done in Europe when they got to the semi-finals of the Europa League. So he comes highly rated as well. And they've also done a podcast with that. So that's also worth a listen if you can't wait till we finally name someone. But as I said, Martin O'Neill is still the manager and Sean Maloney is the coach. And they will now have to plan with another player injured, as Colby Donovan picked up an injury playing for the Scottish under-21s against Gibraltar. So he joins a long list of defenders in the sick room at Celtic Park on the injury bench. The ever-growing bench, and it's a lot of defenders, and the squad is down to the bare bones ahead of such a important running. And again, you can't account for injuries, but you can account for the transfer policy, and that goes back to the board. Someone has to take responsibility for it, and I think that lays with the board. Martin, he's been great since he's come in. He's been very entertaining for the press. He's charming, but it looks like Sean Maloney is the one that's working with the players on a daily basis. You could see that against the Rangers of Hampden. He was the one down, on the touchline, giving the instructions. And Martin is obviously the motivator and the head figure and the gaffer, as all those former players keep speaking about. I listened to an interview with Paul Lambert, and he referred to him as the gaffer. And any gigs I've done with former players that played under him, always call him the gaffer. Tom O'Hart's and Sutton, they all call him the gaffer. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who comes in as a permanent replacement. But for now, it looks like it's still Martin. Although by the time I finish recording this podcast, who knows? There could be a manager in place, and we'll have to record another one then. So yeah, the AGM Friday, St Mirren Saturday. Next Thursday, then it's off to Rotterdam. So a busy time for Celtic fans, and we've been busy here during the international break at the More Than 90 Minutes HQ here in Drogheda. We've recorded some interviews for upcoming podcasts. We've had a couple of authors on. We've also had an actor on who's just got a very big role in a very famous soap opera. So we'll hope to get them out within the next couple of days, definitely within the next week. And as I said earlier, we'll have all the usual suspects back later in the week to preview the trip to Paisley and to talk all things Celtic. And who knows, maybe we will be talking about a new manager. Event-wise, we're delighted to hear that the Celtic Supporters Festival 2026 is taking place in Spain. It's taking place in Rosie Maguire's in Cabaret, an area I know well. I spend a lot of time in the area. Cabaret, for those who don't know, is in Alicante, near Alicante. And it's the airports you'll be travelling to will be Murcia and Alicante. The venue is fantastic. There's a couple of stages in it. There's a massive courtyard. There's two stages instairs, downstairs and upstairs. So I know that there are plans for a number of player events. They'll be starting to name the players who are attending, the former Celtic players who are attending. I think they'll be naming one this week. And then they'll be naming the others over the next couple of weeks. They've also got a big lineup of bands and solo artists who will be playing over the 4 days. So that takes place from Thursday, June, till Thursday, Sunday the 7th of June. And that's going to be some way to wrap up the season. Hopefully we'll be celebrating plenty of silverware. Stay tuned for updates and over the next week, as I said on the podcast, we'll give all the announcements out from Rosie's when they go to press. Tickets are flying out the doors. The early bird tickets sold out in a couple of hours, and I'm told that the tickets, the weekend tickets now, are selling fast as well. So if you're planning on going, get your flight booked, get your hotel booked or your apartment, and get your tickets ordered, because the weather's going to be fantastic. There's going to be plenty of sunshine, days on the beach, nights listening to Celtic stories and singing a few tunes. So they've lined up probably one of the best lineups I've seen for. I've got an insight into some of the things they've booked. Probably one of the biggest lines up, and I've been to most of the Vegas conventions, and I've also ran the Thailand conventions or the Thailand festival. So, and I've been at quite a number of supporters functions. So this one has all the makings to be up there with the best. So, and plus an opportunity of a cheap flight, cheap accommodation, and you will get some bang for your buck in the Alicante area. Trust me, that's why I spent so much time there. We've also started work on issue 140 of the fanzine, where it all started. And hopefully we'll have the digital out within the next week, followed by the print issue. And as soon as we get that from the printers, that will go in the envelopes and be posted off to all our subscribers and all those who have pre-ordered a copy. We'll get that link up in a couple of days on the website for pre-ordering. And every day we have blogs, podcasts, news and articles going up on the website. That's celticfanzine.com. So visit that. And you can also, you can also download the app. So if you go over to the Google Play Store, and you can download the app on Android straight to your phone and just tap in every day and see what we're all about. On the website as well, folks, you can sign up for our free newsletter, which goes out. We put bulletins out and Sunday supplements and match day fanzines and so forth. So sign up for that and you'll get plenty of stuff into your inbox as well. The app is also available over at Apple as well, at the Apple Store. So if you're fed up typing in celticfanzine.com, download the app. And as I said, you can see all our news and upcoming events, and also our online shop where you can purchase a badge or a t-shirt, a fanzine. You'll see all the back issues there, so forth. And you can also subscribe to the fanzine. And you can also follow us on social media. You'll find us across most of the platforms. And we're now posting videos on TikTok as well. So, folks, that's really it. I just wanted to give an update of what we've been up to. It's such a happy Monday. It's another happy Monday. I think the last happy Monday was when we beat Rangers in the semi-finals of the Cup, and I had Matt McGlone on as my guest. So, yeah, smiley faces this month on the podcast. Folks, enjoy the week. Tune in daily for podcasts, and I'll bump into a few years on our travels as we go to see the famous Glasgow Celtic. Thank you for listening.